Sobrang haba naman po nung introduction. When you could have just said, the gorgeous and voluptuous, di ba? Undersecretary of DBM, Goddess, Hope Libiran. O, di ba? That would have been much better, no? But I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Okay, so to Dr. Salva Ramachandran, Resident Representative of the United Nations Development Program, the Philippines. To Yusek Vidal Villanueva III, Deputy Director General for Partnerships and Special Concerns of TESDA. To ASEC Bernardo Rafaelito Alejandro IV, no, from the Civil Defense Deputy Administrator for Administration and Education. We also have here Mr. James Gregor Asuelo, Chairman and CEO of Bridging Leaders for Sustainable Development. And R. Lara Ramas, President and CEO of Bridging Leaders for Sustainable Development Incorporated. And of course, the very famous and my idol, ever since I was in elementary, Joe, no, in college. No, because my brother is an architecture graduate from the University of Santo Tomas, and he told me several wonderful things about you, sir. Architect Falino June Palafox. I believe many of us here know him and recognize the wonderful things that he did for our country. Thank you very much, sir. So to our Sangguniang Kabataan officials, youth leaders, participants, guests, ladies and gentlemen, good day to all of you. Hello? Okay, so on behalf of my very gorgeous, youthful, and hardworking boss, an empowered Filipina, Department of Budget and Management Secretary Amena Mina Pangandaman, I would like to express my utmost gratitude to the Bridging Leaders for Sustainable Development Incorporated for the extraordinary opportunity to address our dynamic young leaders from all over the country. Natutuwa po ako na nakita ko na ang daming mga youth leaders na nandito. Kung hindi nyo po na itatanong, noong ako po ay bata pa, ako rin po ay kagaya ninyo. Naging aktibo din po ako sa mga programang pangkabataan sa aming barangay at sa aming syudad. Kaya kung ano po yung mga nararanasan nyo ngayon, kung ano yung mga hinaing ninyo ngayon, siguro sa LGU, barangay, or sa national government, lahat po yan ay naranasan at naiintindihan ko rin po. So I would like to commend and recognize all of you for actively participating in governance, community development, and upliftment of the lives of the Filipino people. Hanga po ako sa mga kabataang tulad natin. Oy, wala nag-react, so ibig sabihin, tinatanggap ninyo yung sinabi ko. Hanga po ako sa mga kabataang tulad natin na sa murang edad, ay inilaan na po ninyo ang inyong oras, lakas, passion and focus, at higit sa lahat ang inyong pong kakayahan para maglingkod at makapag-ambag sa ikauunlad po ng ating bayan. I cannot emphasize enough how important it is to recognize the potential power of young people in shaping the future of our society. Naniniwala po ba kayo na makapangyarihan ang mga kabataan sa pag-shape ng kinabukasan ng ating bayan? Diba? Kasi kung hindi kayo naniniwala sa inyong kapangyarihan, hindi dapat kayo nandito. And I'm telling you, kayo ang kinabukasan. Thus, under a bagong Pilipinas envisioned by our beloved President Bongbong Marcos, we are investing in the future of the next generation. The youth is part of our agenda for prosperity. As you may all know, we are already in the process of crafting the 2025 National Expenditure Program, or the national budget for the next fiscal year. And this conference we are conducting today serves as a great avenue to discuss our budgetary priorities, especially at the barangay level. So we shall continue to adhere to the existing joint memorandum circular signed by the Department of Budget and Management, of course, the Department of Interior and Local Government, and the National Youth Commission in 2019, which prescribes the guidelines on the appropriation, release, planning, and budgeting process for the SK funds. So in accordance with the SK Reform Act of 2015, alam nyo, pakinggan nyo po itong mabuti. Alam nyo, nung ako'y nasa SK pa, laging dumudugo yung ilong ko kapag sinasama ako dun sa mga meeting with barangay kagawads and even the barangay captain kasi hindi ako nakakaintindi ng finance noon. Siyempre, di ba, parang high school, early college days, kapag nakakarinig ka ng fiscal policy or budgetary priorities, minsan nakakadugo ng ilong di ba? Pero believe me, if you really want to excel in leadership, and if you want to grow ahead in your career, you need to understand and put to heart those terms. Kasi kailangan maintindihan nyo yan. Kapag hindi kayo marunong mag-budget, hindi kayo marunong mag-manage ng inyong fiscal space na tinatawag o yung pera, legroom ng inyong barangay para sa pagsasagawa ng inyong mga proyekto, kawawa yung nasasakupan ninyo. Kawawa rin kayo. Kaya dapat, take the time and allot time and energy to focus on matters like this because these are important in nation building. So, in accordance with the SK Reform Act of 2015, as mentioned kanina ng ating chairman ng Bridging Leaders, 10%, alam niyo po ba yun? 10% of the general fund of the barangay shall be set aside for the SK. It means the sangguniang barangay shall appropriate the SK funds in lump sum, which shall be disbursed solely for youth development and empowerment purposes. Anong ibig sabihin ng lump sum? Lump sum. Fixed, buo. Binibigay yan. So, wag kayong papayag yung barangay nyo, china-chani-chani. O paunti-unti yung labas ng pera. It should be given in a lump sum manner. So, in the preparation of the SK annual budget, priority should be given to youth development and empowerment programs, projects, and activities in accordance with the Philippine Youth Development Plan and Local Youth Development, as embodied in the approved Comprehensive Barangay Youth Development Plan and Annual Barangay Youth Investment Program. So alam nyo, para mas mabilis kayong, kagaya ng national government yan di ba? Meron kaming tinatawag na Medium-Term Fiscal Framework or Philippine Development Plan. So doon nakalista yung mga priority o yung mga budget priorities ng administration na to. So kung kayo, mga SK chairmen or SK leaders, kung gusto ninyo na mabilis na ma-implement yung mga programs ninyo, i-align nyo sila dun sa mga priorities ng barangay ninyo in terms of youth development. Naiintindihan nyo? Kasi halimbawa kami sa budget, alam naman namin lahat ng mga proyekto ng pamahalaan na pinopropose sa amin ay importante. Kaya lang, dahil limitado yung ating fiscal space o ibig sabihin limitado yung pera natin, para mag-implement ng mga bagong proyekto, we needed to budget. We needed to prioritize. So, pipiliin lang namin kung ano yung mga proyekto na naayon dun sa mga prioridad din ng administrasyon. So, I hope you also do the same thing in your barangays. So, these programs, projects, and activities of the Sangguniang Kabataan shall and should prioritize providing equitable access to quality education, environmental protection, makinig kayo climate change adaptation, disaster risk reduction and resiliency, and youth employment and livelihood. So the SK annual budget shall also ensure that other important issues will be addressed, including health and anti-drug abuse, gender sensitivity, sports development, so yung mga liga nyo, importante yan, and capacity building, which emphasizes leadership training. So on the national level, we are working very hard at the DBM to ensure sound fiscal management over the medium term and see to it that the government's limited resources are focused on attaining the country's development goals. Ayan, may nakikita akong humihikab. Alam nyo, pasensya na kayo, meron talaga akong ugali na kapag may nakita talaga akong humihikab, kapag lalaki, hinahalikan ko. Oy! Joke lang po. Para lang, ano tayo. But guided by our agenda for prosperity and the Philippine Development Plan 2023 to 2028, the national budget shall address the most compelling needs of the Filipino people. So, do you have any idea how much the 2023 budget is? The national government budget? Alam nyo ba kung magkano? Sino dito yung nagbabasa ng current events? Okay. So for everyone's information, the national budget for fiscal year 2024 is 5.768 trillion pesos. So the PBBM administration prioritizes 1, human capital development, number 2, shovel-ready infrastructure projects, and climate change adaptation and mitigation, among others. So this explains why a total of 67.5%, or the bulk of the budget, was allocated for both social and economic services, with the shares of essential subsectors such as education, health, and transportation accelerating the fastest among other sectors. At bilang pagsunod na rin po sa ating constitutional mandate at direktiba ng ating mahal na Pangulo, alam niyo po, importante to. Nananatili pong top priority ng pamahalaan ang sektor ng edukasyon. Alam niyo po, if I'm not mistaken, tanging sa Pilipinas lang, naka-embed mismo sa Constitution na ang dapat na merong pinakamalaking budget share sa ating General Appropriations Act should be the education sector. So kahit anong mangyari, education should be number 1. So yan ang dapat may pinakamalaking bulk of budget. So clear yan Mamaya pag nagpa-recitation ako dito, hindi nyo masagot Okay. In fact, for this year, 2024, we have earmarked a total of 983.505 billion pesos for education, culture, and manpower development sector. So this budget will surely boost the education sector to continue funding our education subsidy programs and enhance needed education facilities nationwide. So alam nyo kayo, di ba, nilalapitan minsan kayo, I am sure, hindi lang Pasko, merong kumakatok sa mga pintuan at bahay-bahay ninyo. Siyempre, walang pinipiling buwan at araw yan. At yung mga kumakatok sa inyo, siyempre yung mga kapwa ninyo kabataan, nagtatanong kung ano kayang, Kuya, kamusta? Ay, natakot si Kuya sa akin. But anyway, di ba, alam niyo yan na isang walang pinipiling araw yan o oras, may kumakatok, humihingi ng tulong. So kayo, my advice to you, aralin ninyo yung General Appropriations Act. Aralin ninyo yung mga programa ng bawat pamahalaan or ahensya ng gobyerno. So for example, did you know na sa CHED, diba, sa Commission on Higher Education, meron silang tinatawag na Universal Access for Quality Tertiary Education or UAQTE. Alam niyo po ba kung ano yung proyektong yon? Yun ay ang pagbibigay ng subsidized or libreng tuition para sa mga kabataan na nag-aaral sa kolehiyo. So kapag po may mga humihingi ng tulong sa inyo about tuition fee, etc., because they want to study and you think that they are very qualified to receive such fund or subsidy, then you refer them to CHED. Hindi lahat kailangan kanyahin. Siyempre, limitado ang budget ng S3. 10% nga lang ng barangay fund eh. But you also need to think that there are lots of national government agencies who can help you. There's TESDA, di ba? There's DepEd. Or if there's a certain individual seeking for medical help dahil kunyari may cancer ang magulang o may cancer mismo yung lumalapit sa inyo. We have Cancer Assistance Fund lodged under the Department of Health. So these things you have to study so that you will know how to respond to the needs of your constituents. Makakaasa po kayo na sa ilalim po ng pamumuno ng aming DBM Secretary Mina Pangandaman, ganun din po ni Pangulong Bongbong Marcos, patuloy nyo kaming makakasangga sa mga hakbang at programa na magpapaunlad sa kakayahan at kapasidad ng kabataang Pilipino. To note, under the 2024 national budget, we have also allotted, listen carefully, a total of 47.9 million pesos for the Sangguniang Kabataan Mandatory and Continuing Training Fund, which will be utilized to provide capacity-building activities for Sangguniang Kabataan officials and members of the local youth development councils. So if you think that you needed to capacitate yourselves again in terms of leadership, you can access those funds. Kasi we have allotted, as I've said, 47.9 million pesos for the SK Mandatory and Continuing Training Fund. Pero syempre, kapag nakahingi kayo, nakapag-approve kayo ng budget for training, mag-training naman talaga kayo, ha? Huwag yung pipili kayo ng isang lugar like, I want to train in Bohol kasi that gives me peace of mind and I want to see the fish while I'm snorkeling. Yung mga ganon. Sana seryoso yung training and yung capacity building activities. And I'm sure with the caliber of the youth nowadays, I am very sure that you are taking your jobs seriously. Because after all, just like what we're doing in national government, alam ko po naman na ang puso ninyo ay nasa public service din. At pare-parehas po tayo ng gusto. Ang gusto lang natin, mapabuti at maitaas po yung kalidad ng pamumuhay ng ating mga kababayan. Yung pong budget na sinabi ko sa inyo, sigurado po ako na makakatulong po yan para paigtingin pa ang inyong mga kaalaman sa pagpapatakbo ng inyong komunidad. Marami po kasing nagsasabi, no? Nako, bata. Kapag bata kasi, wala naman masyadong alam yan, madaling paikutin. Naniniwala kayo doon? Do you agree with that? Don't ever think that way because that's not true. Based on experience, so I'm telling you about my experience. I started in government service when I was 19 years old. No? I'm a fresh graduate. Fresh. Literal. Fresh graduate. And so, I was applying then as a production assistant. I was a graduate of broadcast communication. So, originally, my plan is to really become the next Karen Davila or Corina Sanchez, di ba? Yan ang mga pangarap ko noon. Pero syempre, naniniwala ko na dapat kung gusto kong ma-attain yun, I needed to start from scratch. So I applied for a production assistant position at the Metro Manila Development Authority. If you're familiar with MMDA. Hindi ko alam kung ano nangyari. Ang dami-dami kong mga exams and interviews na ginawa sa akin. Sabi ko, bakit ganun? PA lang naman ina-applyan ko. Assistant, bakit ang daming interviews? Pati yata general manager ng MMDA, who is a USEC level that time, interviewed me. Why? Yun pala, the late chairman, Bayani Fernando, fired the station manager of the MMDA Teleradio. So they're looking for a replacement. So to cut the long story short, I was hired not as a production assistant, but a program production head. So just imagine that I am a 19-year-old, young, fresh woman. Diba? But I was tasked to manage a big group na ang youngest employee ay 35 years old. And then, this employee even had the temerity that time to talk to me and tell me in my face na, di ba? Para itong alin niya sa pelikula. Sabi niya, kahit kailan, hindi kita matatanggap na boss ko. Wow. Sinabi niya sa akin yun. But I said, ang sabi po nila sa akin, ang mga kabataan, salamin lang yan ng mga matatanda. Kung mabait ka sa akin, mabait din ako sa iyo. Kung masama ka sa akin, mas halimaw pa ako sa iyo. Taray! Parang no? Parang telenovela, no? Yeah, I said that because I was trained to be strong. And you should be strong like that. So, hindi porket kabataan, hindi porket mas bata, ibig sabihin, inferior kayo. Well, I'm not saying for you to become disrespectful. Kasi ang mga nakatatanda, syempre sila, hinubog na yan ng panahon eh. May mga connections na yan, marami na silang mga experiences, yung wisdom nila, hindi na natin matatawaran. But of course, what I'm telling you is that, di ba? Don't ever think that you are inferior just because you are younger. Di ba? So, 19 years old ako noon. Yung mga boss ko, siguro mga nasa 50s or 55, 60s nung time na yon. They're directors. And then, I exited MMDA in 2016. I became a director in 2017. I became an ASEC in 2019. And by God's grace, love and mercy, I became an undersecretary in 2022. Yung mga naging boss ko at yung nagsabi sa akin na kahit kailan ay hindi niya ako matatanggap na boss niya, nasan siya ngayon? O diba? Bitter lang. Pero napatawad ko na siya. Don't worry. Okay. So, for this year, diba? We have earmarked a total of 983.505 billion pesos for the education, culture, and manpower development sector. So that is a huge bulk of budget. And we will also strengthen the employability of our youth by providing necessary budgets for programs under the Department of Labor and Employment and, of course, the Technical Education and Skills Development Authority, or TESDA. So these include the government internship program. O, meron tayo niyan. We also have the special program for employment of students, Job Start Philippines, and TESDA's Innovation Thrust. So as I end, allow me to encourage you to continue inspiring more people and keep participating in nation building. Alam nyo, you guys are still young. And I am sure that in the next few days, months, or years, you will inevitably commit mistakes. Some small mistakes, and some are big. But do not let those mistakes define you. No? What matters, pinipigilan ni Kuya Vigo. What matters is how you handle standing up. At kung paano ka bumawi. Ganyan naman sa leadership. Yung test ng leadership, ito nga, tinuro sa akin ni Sec. Art Togade ito Ang pinaka-gauge ng iyong success, hindi yung mga ginawa mo pa nung unang-unang panahon. Ang gauge ng iyong success at ng iyong galing, yung nagawa mong pinaka-recent. No? So kung nagkamali ka noong mga nakaraang panahon, at feeling mo, hindi ka na makakabawi, reject that kind of idea. Bumawi ka. Mas galingan mo. At kapag nagtagumpay ka at naging successful ka dito sa project or program na ito, yun yung matatandaan ng tao. Don't let them remember the things that you did wrong. Patungan nyo ng mga bagay na magaganda at makakabuti para sa ating mga kababayan. So I cannot emphasize enough how important it is to recognize the potential and the power of young people to shape the future of our society. You, the youth of today, are the agents of social change of tomorrow. So rest assured that we believe in you as the future leaders and pioneers of society. Kaya nga po, tulad ng palaging binibigyang diin ni Sec. Mina Pangandaman sa amin sa DBM, dapat ngayon pa lang involved na ang kabataan sa mga layunin ng pamahalaan. And that is also the reason why for us in the DBM, we are making a way for our stakeholders, including the youth, to get involved in every key fiscal transparency and bureaucratic efficiency initiative. So hangarin ko po na mas dumami pa ang mga kabataang tulad nyo na makikibahagi sa mahalagang proseso ng gobyerno, lalo na sa budgeting process at pagsulong ng good governance o mahusay na pamamahala. Pagdating ninyo sa inyong mga barangay, sabihan nyo si Kap, I want to get involved in the budgeting process. I want to know more about the budgeting process. As we aim toward achieving our agenda for prosperity, I am calling on each of you to take your space and cement that space. O diba? Cementing space. Parang si Miss South Africa lang nananalo sa Miss Universe. Spark change in your community and remain on the forefront of advocating for a better future for our beloved Pilipinas. Your hard work, your passion, and commitment will keep us on track to achieving our social and economic transformation agenda toward a prosperous, inclusive, and resilient Philippines. Maraming salamat po sa inyong lahat. Mabuhay ang kabataang Pilipino!